Alright, let's talk about why this product is good, but is mediocre at best. So, I mean, it's okay, I think, for a regular house, for residential, but if you are in a professional place, environment, or you want to install it in your office, I will not recommend to buy this product. So I'm going to tell you why. So, for instance, if you want to buy this product, the good thing about this, I mean, it has like a lot of features. It's fast. You have a Wi-Fi 6. Now we have a Wi-Fi 7. But I mean, at least you can get around maybe 800 megabytes very easily. You can get it sometimes maybe a little bit cheaper. But the good thing about this, I mean, it's fast. It has a lot of features. But the main features, at least they are important to me, it doesn't have it. And as you can see here, I have my email with Ubiquiti, so that I'm going to show you in a little bit. So let's talk. I'm going to show you, for instance, the main features that you're going to get this, and I'm going to tell you the bad features that I don't like about this product. So let's try to connect to my phone, so that way you can see everything here. All right, amplify. Alright, so as you can see here, we have the product here. We can run a speed test, so that way you can see here. I have a gigabit connection, so it's pretty fast. Maybe I'm not getting a gig, but at least it's close enough. At least for me, is very good. Meanwhile we do this, I'm going to show you the product closely, so that way if you have to buy this, I mean, it has, you know, a nice screen or display like you see here. On the bottom you can see the power. Here we have the WAN, and then here on the back we have the other ports, you know, the LAN ports for your network. Here you have, for instance, you can check everything here. I mean, if you want to change the volume of the router, you can do it from here. If you want to change the display, you can do it from here as well. The brightness, as you can see, let's put it maximum. You can change it from here too. I don't know why it has two. Okay, one is the brightness, the LED brightness from here, and the other is for the screen. You can see the speed. You can see the temperature of this device. You can see the uptime. You can see the CPU usage. I'm going to zoom in, so that way you can see this a little bit closely. The RAM. So always when you buy a router, you have to see the RAM, the CPU. Always I recommend at least 2 cores or 4 cores if you can, and if also 64 gigs of RAM or more, it will be ideal. This is like a small computer, so if you don't have enough resources, you're not going to have, you know, all the speed that is needed. And then after that, you can check a few things. You can check you can run a speed test. You can see the computers, you know, that are connected to this router, the wireless, and the one that is connected, you know, via wire. So basically here you can see everything, and I mean, it's decent, and you can run a speed test here. Like I said, also you can see the speed of your network. So if you are transferring a lot of data, you can see it from here as well. So it has nice features. Now I'm going to tell you a little bit about the bad things about this. So now, as you can see, we're using 93% of the Wi-Fi. We have 36 devices connected to this router, and I'll show you now on the screen, so that way you can see everything. So now let's change the camera. So here we have the speed test, like I showed you before. We close it. You can see basically the same thing that I showed you before. So we have the device that were connected here, the one that are connected. You can see all wireless, wire, everything's here. I have all my cameras, server, and everything else. If you have some guests, you can even hook up the guest or enable the guest, you know, for a couple hours, and then after that it will be disconnected. You can check this. You can connect or control the device remotely. That is a good thing, and you can control the same thing, you know, from here. You can change the LED light, the screen, and everything else. Now I'm going to tell you the bad things about this. So if you go here, for instance, in wireless, the only thing that you get in security, the encryption, is WPA2. So I don't like that. You don't have any other option. So yes, you have the old one, the WPA and 2, and that's it, or none if you want to. The one, it has some bugs, some features that you can exploit if you want to, and you have the 3. So there is no way that you can update to the 3. You cannot change the power. You cannot schedule, when you want to have Wi-Fi and when you don't want to have Wi-Fi. For instance, the main thing here, if you want, I sent an email to Ubiquiti, so that way you can see. For instance, the guy Oscar, he told me, okay, there is no option to disable the Wi-Fi. That is a good thing. So let's say you are in your office and you don't want to leave the Wi-Fi, on all the time. So because you have neighbors, they can try to hack your network, and you don't know. So when you can reduce the exposure of the Wi-Fi to your neighbors, it will be better. So there is no way to do that. They will say, okay, yes, you can hide the SSID. Yes, you can do that, no problem. But the problem that you're going to have is if you're playing around, with this software, Wireshark, you're going to be able to see almost every network without any issue. So that is one of the main things. So I'll show you here the email, so that way you can see. Okay, as you can see, this says the router only supports WPA and version 2, and that's it. There is no update for WPA3. That is a big no. So if you want to use this router maybe for your house, you're reading the emails, YouTube, and that's it. Okay, I think it will be okay. If you want something more professional for security reasons, like I said, if you can reduce the power or the time that the Wi-Fi is going to be on, great. For instance, there are some places or embassies, they don't have a Wi-Fi, or if they have Wi-Fi, it will be a separate network. So that way, if someone wants to hack the network that they have, the only thing that they're going to have once they access that Wi-Fi network, it will be for Wi-Fi on internet, and that's it. Otherwise, for the internal network, usually they don't use anything. So that way, it's maximum security. Also here, there is no option to schedule the Wi-Fi, and that is a problem. And there is no option to control the power of the Wi-Fi, because like I mentioned before, maybe you are in this, I don't know, an apartment, a small apartment, or you're in a big apartment. The problem that you're going to have if you have, like a lot of power with the Wi-Fi, the RF is very powerful. You're going to get your signal, to the neighbors, and you don't want your neighbors to have the signal. So if you can get maybe like 30 milliwatts, 50 milliwatts, as little as possible, so that way the devices that you have in your room will be able to connect without dropping the connection. Another option that you can do is you can connect, and then you can reduce the max, the milliwatt of the RF as much as possible, and then you can download a huge file, do a ping, and see if you're losing packets, or if the latency is very big, so you will have to increase it a little bit, but try to play with that. Also, you're not going to produce interference in your neighbors and in another room. So if you want to have maybe a Wi-Fi in each floor, or maybe in each room, something like very little, so that way you can protect yourself, that will be another option. Also, another thing that you can do, if you see here, I have a MikroTik. So if you see a MikroTik, they have the option to reduce the transmission power. For instance, here you can set the amount of dBms that you want. If you have, for instance, Ubiquiti, they have another, for instance, the NanoStation Loco. They have another options where you can control the output power, as you can see here. So you can control it here, but at least in this device that I have, this router, they don't have that option. It's very limited, and you cannot control the encryption that you're going to have. Also, there are some paints that you can paint your rooms if you want to avoid the RF coming in or getting out of your room. That will be another option. If you want to paint for RF, if you want to search for that, you see super yield, silver coated coping, conductive, so that way you can have a Faraday cage in your room or in your house. This paint is kind of expensive, but it's made for that. That will be the latest thing that you can do in your house. Otherwise, you have to try to get another type of access point or something that will allow you to do that. For instance, I seen in Amazon this type of the little ones, as you can see here. For instance, I have to check if this one you can control the power output. Also, the speed is, I think it will be okay. You see, it has 128 megabytes of RAM. This access point. Remember, the regular routers, sometimes they don't tell you, the specs, but if you have something, with 128 megabytes of RAM, or 256 or 500 or 1 gig, it's going to be faster. Here, as you can see, it's very small, but the speed, like, again, is not great. But if you want something like maybe like this, I didn't get any response from the manufacturer yet. But if this, can do what I need, I think it will be a nice alternative. Otherwise, you can play with the ubiquities, the other products that they have, and that way you can have that option. Also, otherwise, for routers, this is what I have. For instance, I don't have exactly this model, but if you see here, we have a MikroTik 1.4 gigahertz, 1 gig of RAM. So we have 7 ports that they are gigabit for 255, and that's it. So if you want, also usually I like buying something like this. This is what I have. You can do a lot of things. If you want to have a VPN, you want to control the bandwidth, you can do almost anything. You can code it the way you want. And if you want an RF, usually I like Ubiquiti. For instance, the one I show you, the Nano Locus. I don't know the other models. You have another access point, for instance, AP, Ubiquiti, and I have to play with this. I don't remember if they have, a way to control the RF, but if there is an option for that, maybe you can get something like that. And if you can schedule it, like I said before, so that way you can reduce your exposure, I think that will be the best option for this. And basically that is the main thing about this product. That is why I don't recommend you to buy it if you have to buy it. I mean, it's expensive, it's fast, I mean, it's good, but just for residential with having no security in mind. If you don't care about that, buy. Otherwise, buy something else. Hopefully this video was useful. If you have any question, please let me know, section below, and see you next time. And as usual, I am in US. If you need tools, electronics, let me know. I can ship it to you. Otherwise, the link so that way you can buy it yourself. Thank you for watching. See you next time.